So when I come on here, I give 100%. You get every bit of my joy, my grace, my love, my strength. Um, I don't ever come on here when I'm drained. If I don't feel like I have the capacity, if I feel like I'm going to be short or impatient with other people, because we all have those days, right? And when that's being accountable all in itself, right? When we understand that I only have the capacity today to hang out with my kid, I only have the capacity to sweep my floors. I'm not mopping them today. I'm tired. I don't feel good. Whatever, right? Understanding that and taking one small thing at a time, and then there's days where you're getting so much done and you're like, okay, I can't do this. I can't come on and do this, but I have this work to do, this. So I can take 20 other tasks and accomplish them. So understanding what time you want to give to what, it's all a form of accountability. And it all brings us back to the same thing. When we do those check ins with ourselves and understand the capacity that we have, we create that space. So I'm going to get that's going to bring me into this a little bit, which is the light through the cracks. And the reason I did these as the first 10-part series, um, because each one has its own little nuance. And if you can understand the nuance and see what that's trying to teach you, uh, you really can create space. There's this space that comes through that doesn't like allow you to feel fear, right? Rudy, good morning. Yeah, it's only 10:24, so it's probably still morning everywhere else. I'm usually 3 hours behind. How are you? Welcome. We are just about to start episode 5 of The Light Through the Cracks, which is our alchemy emotion. So the other ones that I talked about was peeling it back, understanding what the information each emotion was teaching you. And then it was the grace in the grind was teaching you how to give yourself grace and understand that to give others compassion, we have to first give it to ourselves. Otherwise, we're giving that compassion and it turns into resentment and all these other things uh, because we're not filling our own cup first. And then there was accountability, and that was the one where we learned what the next best step is. So now here we are back again in the alchemy of motion, and this is where we pull it all together and very clearly understand how each step, when we take those moments, we learn how to pause. Sometimes we got to pivot, but for the most times, it's pause. We don't have to self sabotage. We don't have to fall back and keep trying to do it over and over. Start back at zero. We get to start from a solid foundation and our experience, which isn't clawing in the mud, which isn't trying to climb back up every time we lose everything over and over again. We've built that solid foundation. Now, no matter where we go, even if we have to pause, we keep learning from experience. Our foundation just gets taller and taller and taller. So we keep climbing up that mountain. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do is teach everybody. It was 27, as I said that. And that's just understanding that there's balance in everything we do. And when we can find that balance within ourselves, uh, we start to trust ourselves. So when we do make those pauses, we're not pausing because we're mad. We're pausing because we feel anger, but we instead of trying to push it back, choke it back, or feel bad for it, we're going, why do I feel anger about that? Because I know that it's telling me something. So now you're pausing to understand I have a right, yes, to be angry, but I need to know why I'm angry, right? Because we can just be angry, and if we don't know why we're angry, then we have no power to do anything. But when we start to understand what that emotion is and what it's telling us, now we know what we need to change, right? And it doesn't mean we have to change, um, but it does mean that something has to change, right? And maybe it's putting up a boundary to someone else. Maybe it's making more time for yourself. Maybe it's saying, okay, I feel this feeling coming up, and it could be from something from a long time ago, but we need to start walking this back. Maybe I can't do that all today, but I know what it is. And now you're starting to take actions to figure out what that is. You're starting to see your patterns, you're starting to understand that. And when you can start seeing and understanding those patterns, you can change them. Uh, you can be accountable. You can celebrate yourself because you don't ever have to get to that explosion, that place where you react, or because you've pushed it down too far. You get to that place where you stop before that, and it just gets earlier and easier each time. And that's really what I want to teach people. I want to see you pause. I want to see you stop for a moment, uh, and not have to claw your way back up from the ditches, from the trenches. So that's kind of what this is about. So now, if you want to understand and really break it down to each one, you can go back to my other series. I have the Fire and Flow series, the Grace and the Grind, and the Accountability one. So if there's something that maybe you feel stuck on, you can always go back and watch them. They break it down really, really well. But otherwise, this one is the light through the cracks. So in the first one, not the first one, the last one was the kindness that breaks you open. So when we talk about it a little bit, people are like, what? That makes no sense. And for some people, it may never make sense because they've had kindness, they've had that compassion, they've had all of those good things in life. There are many, many people that have had to be hyper independent, that have been betrayed their whole lives, have had people say that they were going to care about them. And it's not saying that even that they meant to, but we have to understand hurt people hurt people. So uh, until we fix those hurts, we're gonna always hurt somebody else, not on purpose, right? But it does happen. And when you start to look at that, um, it becomes a little easier to forgive those people. That doesn't mean we allow them to continue to hurt us. What it does mean is that we allow compassion and understanding to help explain to ourselves and help us stop doing it, right? And sometimes set boundaries to be away from those people that are doing it until they can learn. And if they can't learn, that's not something we can't force them. Okay, I can, like, when I come on here and I give this information and I do this for the people that are willing to listen, the people that want to hear. I'm not going to go into your house, knock on your door, and say you must listen to me and you need to change, right? But I will always give the information, and you can decide if it's worth it or not for you to hear. So when we start to understand that, I had to learn that, right? That's called setting a boundary, right? Forcing somebody or dragging a horse to water, you still can't make them drink. And when we learn and really understand what that means, we create space for ourselves. And then when there's this kindness that comes in, and you've had to do everything yourself, and every single person has betrayed you in some way, shape, or form, and then some, usually almost always, some stranger comes out of nowhere and they give you this kindness and compassion, uh, and it just rips your whole soul open. The way it cracks you open, the way it makes you feel helpless, the way it makes you want to push it away, fight it away. Um, it's such a deep, deep thing. And you know what happens most times? People self sabotage. They run, they push it away, they fight it, they test the boundaries. They say, well, I don't believe you're going to stick by me through thick and thin, so I'm going to just beat you up. And whether it's physically, mentally, verbally, there's so many other ways. I'm going to push it away. I'm going to abuse it. I'm going to do other things because I need to test and see. And that's called self sabotage. And what you do is cause damage to the other person on the other side, even though you're not intending to do that. You're just you can't trust it, right? And that's when we get to that space, and when it cracks you open, it's hard because it's scary. And you can talk about all the trauma you've been through all your life, like it's nothing because you're used to it. But then someone's kind to you and it just burns your whole heart out. You can barely speak it without tears coming down your face. And I've been through this. When I tell you that when we talk about these things, I wouldn't tell you these things if I had no idea. I've walked through this fire 10,000 times. I'm a professional in more ways than one. KDP, welcome. Good morning. We're talking about the light through the cracks, which is like the next one after the kindness that breaks you open. And the idea is this is the part in that kindness that breaks you open that what makes you want to self sabotage. It's what makes you want to say, no, I can't do this. This is makes me too vulnerable and it's scary. I'm doing really great today. How are you? I'm from Canada.